Welcome to the bold analysis. I want to say for the record here that government cannot be run by propaganda. And for William Ruto's handlers, and those who can share this podcast, at least with those who advise him, must then realize and must tell the president that the Mombasa mission backfired badly. And the reason why the Mombasa mission backfired is because of over-reliance on political propaganda. I want to show you some 3 videos. And these are 3 videos. They are all talking about Hustler Fund. This is William Ruto's statement on Hustler Fund while having a rally in Mombasa. Pay attention to how many people he's saying are registered.
Sasa nilianzisha Hustler Fund. Mnajua vile mmefanya? Nyinyi mnajijua nyinyi. Sasa sikizeni. Hapa Mombasa, sikizeni story niwaambie. Hapa Mombasa, watu wa Mombasa wamechukua 1.1 billion kwa Hustler Fund. Wangwana karibu 1530 wamebeba pesa ya Hustler Fund. 70% wamelipa na wanaendelea kufanya biashara. Kuna watu 30%. Na mnajijua. Na mko hata kwa hii mkutano.
Ladies and gentlemen, now on that video, he was speaking in Mombasa and talking about 530,000 people registered in Hustler Fund in Mombasa. 70% have paid and 30% have not paid. And even from the ground, you will realize that he is struggling to convince them that Hustler Fund is working. It seems to be a concept that was only running in the mind of those around William Ruto. But in the ground, people cannot trace something tangible they have done with the Hustler Fund. Or how many people still are interacting with it. But I bet that is Mombasa. Now, I want to play for you another video. This is the same William Ruto. That one he spoke on Friday, now on Saturday, I think. He was in Kilifi County. Kilifi County is different with Mombasa. Now, in Kilifi County, it was still the same story, the same data. 530,000 hapa Kilifi registered, and I don't know, 70% have paid and 30% have not paid. Now, this was said in Kilifi the very weekend.
Hustler Fund hapa Kilifi. Nyinyi watu wa Kilifi mko mbele sana. Watu ambao walichukua pesa ya Hustler Fund Kilifi ni watu 1530. Na mumebeba shilingi milioni 870. Na uzuri wengi wenu mumelipa mukichukua 70% wamelipa. Lakini kuna watu 30% mimi nawaona wako hapa hawajalipa na hawataki kuniangalia kwa macho vizuri.
Now, before I even play for you the third video, let me just ask you, what is the coincidence that 530 people have registered for Hustler Fund in those 2 counties? Let's be very realistic. Mombasa has a higher population than Kilifi. Is it possible? Maybe I may not be getting it. Someone getting it should convince me. I want to be convinced. Is it possible that in both the counties of Mombasa and Kilifi, coincidentally, they've all registered 530,000 people in Hustler Fund? Is that data consistent? And I tried to dig deep, and I bumped on the latest report about Hustler Fund that I want to show you here. I think we need to get it, and that's why I'm saying that the Mombasa mission is not very clear. Now, in this data, I managed Kilifi, that the number of people that had registered in Hustler Fund, this is the latest report, was showing 299,000 people were registered in Hustler Fund. I think I should get the full one where there is also Mombasa. Yes, so that you get, yes, Mombasa was at 281,000. We are told Kilifi had a more registered members. Both of them had more registered members. Now, those two clips I've played for you. One, he was in a rally in Mombasa. The other one, he was in some, there are also political rallies, but now, under the tent in Kilifi. Then, if you just know that Mambo Dimbaya, he went to the ground. This is in Kilifi. And I want you to listen to what he was told there.
Ninyi watu wa Kilifi kwanza, ninyi ni wajanja sana. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu hapa Kilifi, wacha niwapatie story. Hapa Kilifi watu waliobeba pesa ya Hustler Fund ni watu 530. Umebeba shilingi milioni 870. Na hatukulipi. Uzuri wengi wenu mnalipa. 70% wanalipa. Lakini kuna 30% wako wanaenda. Mimi naona wako kwa hii mkutano hao. Ile ni sonda bwana. Ya mnaangalia mambo vizuri. Ile ni sonda bwana. Lakini sikizeni. Mimi niko na maneno mengine mzuri tena. Siongezee. Ile hazina nimesikia mnasema tuongeze. Sasa nimeongeza kwa hii budget, nimeongeza pesa ya hiyo hazina. Sawa. Na sasa nimesema ile pesa tutawapatia ni kwa vikundi.
Have you realized that statement is just one? The only thing changing is the venue where it's being said. I even think that even when Ruto goes to Kisumu, he will say the same thing. The same statement was said in Kilifi, it was said in Mombasa. It is the same thing. The same 530,000, the same 70% have paid, the same 30% have not paid. And, and in there, he faced the hostility. That rally backfired. And that's why I'm telling you, the government cannot run on propaganda. It is a tool for managing the population. And it's also a tool for elections. I've always taken one problem, that you campaign on propaganda, and propaganda is a tool of political persuasion. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then, when you settle in the office, the reality dawns. People want results. People want results. So I want to interpret a bit of those three instances. But before I do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. And I need to remind you about Topmark Movers. Topmark Movers are an amazing company in transport, logistics. This is moving, relocating your office staff and households from one place to the other. Whether you're moving from Nairobi to Kilifi, Nairobi to Nakuru, Nairobi to Mombasa, or even within Nairobi, within Huruma, from Huruma to Karen, from Runda to Donholm, then you need a company that is reliable, that is going to make sure that your staff are moved safe and very professional. So that is why I propose to you that contact Topmark Movers. Just save their number. When you want to move, you always remember Topmark Movers and talk to them. The number is 07 19 17 43 93. 07 19 17 43 93. Topmark Movers, they're saying quality is everything. The data on Hustler Fund is altered. And what then worries me a lot is that if such a pet project, why would we alter? If it is not possible that 530 people have registered the Hustler Fund in both those two counties, it is also not a very true coincidence that 30% have not have declined to pay, are defaulters on those end. The defaulting rate is even high, is beyond 30%. I spoke to an MD of one of these lending companies, the mobile lending companies. We were working on a project on how you can advertise for them. And I asked them, what is the uptake? And the gentleman was very honest with me that, Kevin, the defaulting rate in this country, especially on these soft loans, is beyond 50%. He told me only 40 or 30% are paying. In fact, the reverse is true. So the data has been altered because I tend to think that the Hustler Fund, the first phase of Hustler Fund, was money that went out of the drain and the project died there. The only one that can work is this second phase, because that one is being given now on what you're going to do. But the first phase of Hustler Fund was money that was drained. And it went there. In fact, it is even dead. I'm not saying people, this is one of the projects that government has never did PSA. PSA is public service announcements. Even in the community radio stations, I worked in the community radio stations, and they've been, immediately this project was rolled, they've been trying to work in government offices, asking for them to be given some few tenders on PSAs. No one is giving you tender on PSA because they don't want to do communication awareness on it. And it is very clear that that project is dead. Now, let's be a little bit, let's think outside the box. If we can alter data on Hustler Fund, then is it right to say that we are doing a lot of manipulation of data, even at different projects, to project Kenya Kwanza as a government that is successful? Are we right to say that? There is one I want to really applaud the president for. The disbursement of the counties, money to the counties for the first time. It is for the first time under William Ruto administration. What I agree is, it is, of course, it's good that it's been done in time for the first time. We know I have subscribers here who work in the county and they've got their pay. It is true, but it is for the first time since William Ruto came into power in September last year. Remember, this matter, I'm seeing government bloggers projecting it as if it is an achievement. This is not an achievement. This is not a favor. The allocation to county is well anchored on the constitution. The only thing that has been going on is the Kenya Kwanza administration has been playing political gimmick with it. But this is something anchored on constitution. It is not upon Ruto's signature, exclusive signature, a favor for him to sign so that it goes. No. And again, it's not true that it is for the first time. For the last 10 years, let me tell you, devolution has always been, they have always been receiving money. It is since 2013, Kenya Kwanza are telling you that for the first time. No, it's not for the first time. No. Do your research, you'll realize. They've been receiving money. The only thing is that it has been having a challenge. Yeah, 201 day. But for the first time, I can tell you, they were actually receiving money. Now, the person that advised William Ruto, Ruto's handlers that are advising him to go to public to do messaging on Ruto achievements, should be fired. Because that must be avoided like a plague. Avoid an attempt to go to the public and tell the public that I have done this, I've done that. And by the way, let me tell you, as we speak, the pro-government bloggers are even running a narrative that economy has been stabilized. So what are the indicators of economy stabilized? What are the indicators? Or what is the meaning? We are still borrowing. We are borrowing daily billions and trillions from the World Banks and the IMFs of this world. And we were told the moment we stop borrowing, start using our money. William Ruto does not even start using his budget. But already the pro-government bloggers are already in social media telling us that things are stable. You wonder which country we are in. Now, I'm saying the messaging on what Ruto have achieved must be avoided because of my 4-point number 3. The pinch of cost of living is causing hostility. Now, it is very difficult to convince the public that I have done good, while themselves they are feeling the pinch of the cost of living. And from that video, the two videos, the one in Mombasa in a rally and the one in Kilifi in a rally where those guys are telling him off, it is very clear that the ground is hostile, and the hostility is on the fact that people are not feeling what Ruto is doing. People are not feeling. So even though you can tweet this, twist and spin data so that you project and you get a message to tell the people, if you know very well that yenyewe hapa naongea tu but there is nothing, government knows that the ripple effect of a hustler fund is not there. The intention, the rationale, or rather the project line of hustler fund was people to get involved in business. You expand the tax bracket so that when you do taxation, you'll find many people you can tax when many people are doing business. That was the intention. Now, if you do your statistics, even your research, will realize that the influx, the boom, the business boom that was expected by the use of hustler fund is not there. And so, some, we just allow them to die natural death. Hustler fund is dead. That's the truth. Allow it to die instead of picking, resurrecting something from the grave to try to lie to the public. I think on this one, no. And those handling this should get it. Or we say that William Ruto is his own advisor. Let's meet in the next.